Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Today we will see the next part of 7th lesson, that is structural organization in animals, connective tissue and its types. Last time we have seen epithelial tissue. Now the next tissue is connective tissue. This is the most abundant and widely distributed in the body. Special function of linking and supporting other tissues or organs of the body. That is why, because of this function of linking two different organs or tissues and supporting, it is called as connective tissue. It includes cartilage, bone, adipose and blood. So these are different connective tissues. Except blood, the cells secrete fibers of structural proteins, collagen and elastin. Also secrete modified polysaccharides that act as matrix between the cells. So, the connective tissue, the typical characteristic of this tissue is that the cells of this tissue secrete the fibers of the structural proteins, collagen and elastin. In this diagram, you can see these fibers, this collagen fibers and these elastin fibers. So, these fibers are secreted by the cells of this tissue, that is fibroblast, and even the matrix, that is this substance, jelly like substance or the supporting substance of the tissue, is also secreted by the cells. So this is the characteristic of the connective tissue. But in case of blood, we know that the blood cells, that is RBCs, WBCs, they do not secrete the matrix, or you can say plasma. So that is why blood is not considered as the exact connective tissue according to some scientists. Because of this reason, the connective tissue has to fulfill these characteristics. The cell should secrete the matrix and the structural proteins. But in case of blood, the blood cells are not fulfilling this criteria. That is why it is not considered as a connective tissue according to some scientists. But as we have seen, the function of the connective tissue is linking other tissues or organs of the body. Blood does that. So that is why, as per the function, the blood satisfies the condition of being a connective tissue. Now we are going to see the types of connective tissue. Two main types are loose and dense, and the third type is specialized connective tissue. Loose connective tissue, as the name shows, the fibers in this tissue are loosely arranged in semi-fluid ground substance. The matrix or the ground substance is jelly-like, it is semi-fluid, and in that the fibers are arranged loosely. The example is areolar tissue, which contains 3 different types of cells and 2 different types of fibers. Areolar tissue contains fibroblasts, the cells which secrete the fibers. Macrophages, which are bigger in size. In the diagram, this is the diagram of areolar tissue, in which you can see these are macrophages, the bigger cells which are there, and the third are mast cells. So the mast cells here, these are the mast cells. They secrete histamine, serotonin like substances which are important chemical substances in the body. And these proteins structure fibers. These are collagen fibers which occur in bundles, and these are elastin fibers which are secreted by the fibroblast. These bigger one, green colored with dark nucleus, this is a fibroblast which secretes, this cell secretes the fibers of this tissue. The another example of loose connective tissue is adipose tissue. This tissue stores fat beneath the skin. Here you can see the adipose tissue. This is the cell in which this is the smaller area which is occupied on one side by the nucleus, and rest of the place is occupied by fat which is stored in this cell. So adipose tissue is the fat storing tissue and it is generally present beneath the skin. So the first loose connective tissue, again the best two examples, areolar tissue with 3 types of cells and 2 types of fibers, and the adipose tissue that is special for storing the fat. The next connective tissue type is dense connective tissue. As we have seen, in the loose connective tissue, the fibers are loosely arranged in the ground substance. Here, the fibers are compactly arranged. The fibers and fibroblasts, the cells which produce fibers, which secrete the fibers, they are called as fibroblasts. They are arranged compactly. Now, based on the orientation of fibers in this tissue, there are 2 different types which can be dense regular connective tissue and the other is dense irregular connective tissue. See the 2 diagrams. This is the diagram for dense regular connective tissue and this is the diagram for dense irregular connective tissue. You can see that these are the fibroblasts. These are the cells which produce the fibers and these are the fibers, line, wavy line like structures there. Now if you see in this, these lines are arranged in one particular direction or their orientation is the same. Same orientation, that is dense, that is why regular name is given, because orientation is the same. They are almost parallel to each other. On the other hand, irregular, here you can see the fibers are having different directions. They are not oriented in same way. These are the fibroblasts. But the fibers are not oriented as they are oriented here or arranged parallel to each other. So that is the main difference in dense regular connective tissue and dense irregular connective tissue. So in the dense regular connective tissue, the collagen fibers are present in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers. Whereas in the dense irregular connective tissue, fibroblasts and fibers, mostly of collagen, that are oriented differently. They are not aligned or oriented in the same way. Now where it occurs? Dense regular connective tissue occurs in dermis of skin, walls of blood vessels, lungs, bronchioles, and examples of this are tendon and ligament. Now in this diagram you can see what are tendons and ligaments. Here you can see the bones are there. This is one bone and this is the another bone. Now these two bones are supported by skeletal muscle, and these tendons, they bind muscles to the bone. Tendons, they help for attachment of muscles to the bones, because we know that we can do locomotion because of the skeletal muscles, and to this skeletal muscle the bone and the skeletal muscle should be attached with each other, then only it is possible, and that function, binding of skeletal muscles and bones, is done by tendons. The another term, that is ligament. Ligaments, they bind bone to bone. Here it is muscle to bone in tendons, and in ligaments bone to bone. You can see these bones, what we call them as knuckles. So these joints in our fingers, they are wrapped like the bandage. So this structure, this wrapping around the bones, joint between the bones, this is called as ligament. So this is the example of dense regular connective tissue, tendons and ligaments. Whereas dense irregular tissue is present in the skin. So this is about the dense connective tissue. Now let us see the third category, that is specialized connective tissue. In this connective tissue, three examples are there. One is cartilage, bone and blood. Now let us see the characteristics of bone. In bone, the matrix is composed of tough, inflexible material, the ossin. Here, this matrix is formed by the tough substance. So, bone is a rigid structure. So, it is because of the inflexible material, ossin. Then, the matrix is always impregnated with calcium salts. This ossin is having the deposition or impregnation of the calcium salts. The bone cells lie in lacunae singly. This is the bone cell, which is called as osteocyte. This dark structure, oval structure, this is the bone cell. Now, the space surrounding it, empty space surrounding it, is called lacunae. So, in one lacunae, there is only one bone cell, that is osteocyte, is present. That is, bone cells lie in lacunae singly, means only one. Osteocytes are irregular and give off branching processes in the developing bone. So, these processes are there, structures, they are lacunae give off canaliculi. The fine structures are called as canaliculi. There are outer and inner layers of special bone forming cells, the osteoblasts, that produce new osteocytes which secrete lamellae of matrix. So, in this, the osteocytes are formed by osteoblasts. And these osteocytes, they have the branching structures. They are called as, the osteocytes have irregular branching structures are there. Then matrix occurs largely in concentric lamellae. So here you can see these concentrically arranged structures, you can see these. And because of this, that is the rigidity is there, then the bone is highly vascular. Highly vascular means there is a good amount of blood supply to the bone. Bone may have bone marrow at the center. So, at the center of the big bones like thigh bone and other big bones, inside the bone cavity, there is a substance called as bone marrow. So, some bones which are big enough, they have the bone marrow in them. Now, let us see what is cartilage. As first point we have seen, bone is a rigid, tough structure, inflexible, and it is made up of ossin. About cartilage, the matrix is composed of a firm but flexible material called chondrin. Remember the name chondrin, cartilage, and this, because of this substance, it is flexible. As you know that the tip of the nose, ear, at these places in the human body we have the cartilage, and this is flexible part. Secondly, here there is no any impregnation. Matrix may be free or impregnated with calcium salts. Always in bones, it is always impregnated with calcium salts. But in cartilage, it may be impregnated or may not be, that is free. Then bone cells, as we have seen, it is single cell in the lacunae. Here you can see in the cartilage. In the lacunae, the cells lie singly or in groups of 2 or 4. So, in the lacunae, they may be present in a group of 2 or they may be present singly or sometimes even as a group of 4. But in case of bone, it is always one cell in a lacunae. Chondroblasts are oval and devoid of processes. So, osteocyte, the bone cell, produces fiber-like projections which are totally absent in the chondrocyte or chondroblasts. Here you can see these are the cartilage cells, chondrocytes. They do not have such projections. Lacunae lack canaliculi. They do not have such canaliculi structures, small canals, that is the meaning of the canaliculi. Very fine canal-like structures. They are not present in the cartilage. There are no special cartilage-forming cells. Cartilage grows by division of chondroblasts. In bone we have seen osteoblasts are producing osteocytes, but here there are no such cartilage forming cells. Matrix occurs in a homogeneous mass. It is not as a concentric circles, it is homogeneous mass. This is the matrix which is there around these chondrocytes. Cartilage is non-vascular, no blood supply, no such tissue is present. Bone marrow like tissue is not present inside the cartilage. So, these are the main points of differences between bone and cartilage. The third next specialized connective tissue is blood. As earlier we have seen, blood is a connective tissue because it is linking different organs to one another. And the cells of the blood, these are the RBCs, these are the WBCs, and there are platelets. These broken structures, these are the platelets. So these are the three different types of blood cells, but these blood cells, they do not produce plasma, and that is why blood is not fulfilling the criteria of the connective tissue. It does the function as connecting different organs, so that is why it is another specialized tissue for its special function. The next tissue is muscle tissue. In earlier 9th standard classes, you have learnt about different types of muscles, that is the skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. So again, we are going to revise it in a short way. Each muscle is made up of many long cylindrical fibers arranged in parallel arrays. These fibers are composed of numerous fine fibrils called myofibrils. So, a muscle is made up of many myofibrils, and these are very fine fiber-like structures. Myo word indicates muscle. The fiber or fibrils which are very fine, which make the muscle tissue, they are called as myofibrils. And the contraction and relaxation of muscles is important for movement of our body. Three main types of muscles are skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. So, let us see the characteristic of these three. Skeletal muscles, as the name indicates, they are attached to the skeletal system, that is the bones of our body. So, the movement of these skeletal muscles is according to our wish, that is voluntary. That means if we want to walk, then only the skeletal muscles, these voluntary muscles, will show the movement. The structure of these skeletal muscles, it is cylindrical but not branched. This is the picture of the skeletal muscles. These are long cylinder-like structures, you can see here. The stripes in the muscle fibers present. These dark lines you can see here, black colored lines, these are the stripes. Here you can see dark and light. One band of the stripes, then again light colored, again the stripes. So this appears as dark and light bands or stripes on the cylindrical muscles. So these are present. The nucleus in this, many nuclei are present. So in this many nuclei are present. Location, limbs of our body, these skeletal muscles you will see. The second type is smooth muscles. You can see these spindle shaped structures. They are also not branched. Skeletal muscles are not branched, they are cylindrical. Smooth muscles are spindle shaped, they also are not branched. They do not have stripes, non-striated muscles. These are called as striated muscles, are also called as voluntary muscles. Whereas the smooth muscles, as they do not have such striations on them, they are non-striated muscles. They have single nucleus. You can see here only one nucleus per cell. Here many nuclei are present. These smooth muscles, they occur in alimentary canal, iris of pupil, in eye. Here you are supposed to read it, break it and read. This is a typing mistake. So iris of pupil in eye. Then bronchi in lungs and uterus. Here these are present. The third type is cardiac muscles. Now these cardiac muscles and smooth muscles both are involuntary in function. That means they do not function according to our wish. Here again you can see the similarity in the structure. The cardiac muscles are also cylindrical but branched structure you can see. So that is the difference in this skeletal muscle and the cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscles are cylindrical but branching is there. Stripes are also present. Nucleus is single and these cardiac muscles are present in heart. So these are the three types of muscle. Now the next type of tissue, fourth type, that is neural tissue, which is related to our nervous system. Neural tissue has greatest control over body's responsiveness to changing conditions. Stimulus, what we call. Response to the stimulus is given by the neural tissue. Neuron is the unit of neural system. The single cell structure, that is the neuron, it is the basic structure. And neuroglial cells present, protect and support the neurons. So two major types, one is neuron and neuroglial cells. In the diagram you can see these are the neuroglial cells which are surrounding the neuron. Their function is to protect and support the neuron. On stimulation, an electric disturbance is generated which travels along its plasma membrane. In earlier class, you have studied the structure of a nerve cell, multipolar nerve cell. Here, this is the long axon. This structure is the cell body. Here, at the center, this is the nucleus. And these short branched structures, they are called as dendrites. So, one long axon and short many dendrites are there, and at the center of the cell body the nucleus is present. So the main function of these neurons is when there is a stimulation, the electrical disturbance is generated and that travels along its plasma membrane and we understand the impulse, whatever electrical impulse is there. So these are different types of tissues which are present in an animal. So in the next part we are going to discuss about the earthworm. So by then we'll stop here. Thank you.